Good morning, good afternoon, good evening and good night, ladies and gentlemen, and all in between, and welcome to part 27 of the Lord of the Rings Online Arbioning playthrough. Now, at the end of the last episode, I forgot to mention that we've actually just finished the Book 2, so the Lonelands we're done. So I just wanted to finish off these two instances in the Lonelands because they have some storyline with Ivar and the Red Maid. Not much to show off in the fighting, so I'll just skip to the end where we encounter Ivar and the Red Maid, so I'll see you then. And now we go to face down Ivar, who has been the terror in these lands for too long. Also a big thanks to Strahill for helping us out with this quest. I did it this morning but didn't realise that it had any story in it, so I didn't record it, but I got to do it again. By the eyes and the iron crown, I call you forth to summon you. Rise again from this flesh, infuse it with putrescence and rise, Seven, rise, fulfill your oath to the Red Maid, to Angmar. There he is. Man for causing all the bother. Kill them all, my minions. You will not stop me or Angmar by yawning. You will not usurp the Red Maid. Kill them all, minions. And there he is. Ivar has fallen. As has our ally, actually. And as shall we without some aid. That should be fine. But yes, we finally defeated Ivar. Now we just have to deal with his with Skorgler.
Fortress of Rudar, now overrun by corrupted nature and a vile necromantic power out of Angmar. The most terrible power still remains to be confronted.
And now we find ourselves in the deeps of the fortress of the Rudar to finally confront the Red Maid. And here we are to face the Red Maid and her captor. Big thanks to Pardon for helping us out with this. I sense you are here for no sacrificial reason, however. We are here to protect her. This is what happens to those who cross us. She's forgotten who she is. How shall we call to her when she no longer remembers? Come forward and take this. I have etched her name upon the mithril. Place it upon her altar and she will come to you. This will never hold her name forever and will call her to us. I shall place the plate into this chest and entrust the key to you. This is a wise choice. I shall exist long after you are gone. Vatha, Arthur then comes for the maiden. Oh, Stanison. Fools shall not pass to visit the maiden. I will see to that. I have no time for you fools. Now, men, We fulfill our oath to Eowyn Benadir. No, the pain, the fire! Not even those chosen of Eowyn Benadir can defeat me. You too shall pay the price. And because this guy's level 130, he finished them off no problem. Oh, his body just exploded into a bunch of worms. Who calls me forth, who are not my devoted? Your intentions are your folly, and you shall meet your doom. I find your hearts amusingly pure. I shall take my time in turning you. Blood as noble as yours feeds my power more than any other. Come, children, come forth and let me sup upon your noble blood. And this is the Red Maid we've heard so much about in the Lowlands. It's actually quite a difficult fight because all these guys are sacrificing themselves to give her full health, so though the health was at level 130 would have been much more difficult. Now Yuhil is her name. She is defeated. The Red Maid is no more. It is. My home. I feel as I am waking. If I am a walking nightmare. There is no dream. I was nearly consumed. Order must be restored to this land. I will see it done. But deep as the spoiled roots, it will take time. And the Red Maid has been returned to her original beauty. And there we have it. That is the end of Ivar and the Red Maid. We can now leave and head north to the North Downs. The reason why we didn't get the next quest is because I had already accepted it from Frederic in an earlier video. So now we have Book 3 forward, Fires in the North. We have to go back and talk to Candaith, the ranger who we helped defend Weathertop from orcs. So we'll go talk to him before we leave the Lowlands for good, thankfully. And then I'll do my usual thing where I'll transition from the Lowlands to the North Downs. And I'll say a little bit more about how I felt the Lowlands was as an area for quests and so on. So I will see you at Candaith and what he has to tell us. And there's our old friend. So much has happened since we last seen Candace, and no doubt he's been up to things as well. But let's find out what's happening in the North Downs, to the north of Bree. Book 3 forward, fires in the north.
What do you need?
Esteldin sends word that you are to go there and meet with Halbarad. Please hurry, for the orc fires burn hot and strong, and each moment we waste is another opportunity for the enemy. So we've got to head to Halbarad in the north. We actually got a couple of quests to do up there anyway, so it's good to finally be getting them done and to clearing out our journal a bit more. So I'm not going to go straight from the Lone Lands to the North Downs and record all of that, because we've seen from the North Downs to Bree. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut here, and when we come back I'll be just leaving Bree to the North Gate and heading towards the North Downs. So I'll see you there. Now here we are at the north gate of Bree. So we're going to ride from here to the North Downs, our new third area as we start book 3. But in between that, there's a couple of things I want to talk about. I want to review the Lonelands as an area, and I'll also review Bree because I didn't do this when we went from Bree to the Lonelands. First of all, with Bree, I absolutely loved Bree as an area. It was very varied, the quests were quite fun, the epic quest was really good. You know, we had Buckland, the Old Forest, Barrow Downs and Bree Town itself, as well as this kind of nice countryside area. So I really enjoyed the Bree landscape. I'd probably definitely give it a 8.5 out of 10. Now, contrasting that with the Lonelands, which was, you know, has some interesting areas like Weathertop and a few of the ruins, and its colour scheme was completely different to Bree. It was very barren and rusty, and you know there were very few settlements in the Lonelands. You had the Forsaken Inn, and you had a couple of the Aglain strongholds in Agamar, but other than that, it was very dispersed. So it's a very big contrast to Bree. It was quite nice, but I did feel after a while that it got quite boring. It just wasn't as engaging as Bree, I found. I mean, you also had the Red Swamp, which is quite a cool place, but also sometimes quite difficult to navigate, and I got lost quite a few times, and that's my own fault, as well as much as the developers. But I definitely think the Lonelands wasn't as engaging as Bree, so I'd probably give it a 7.5 out of 10 as an area. Now going to the North Downs is going to be quite interesting because you can do both of them at the same time in terms of levels. So the Lonelands and the North Downs are kind of level 20 to level 35, and we're level 33. So you know we're smack bang at the very end of these kind of levels what they can offer. Now obviously because I want to get all of the kindred, all the factions to kindred reputation, I'm going to do a lot of work in the North Downs. But in terms of the epic quest, we could fly through it if we wanted to. That's an option, as well as we also have Evendim unlocked for us. That's level 30 onwards. You know, we can do that alongside doing the Ettenmoors and Rivendell. So, and also the epic quest is much shorter in the North Downs. You know, there were 16 chapters in the Lonelands, whereas in the North Downs there's only something like 6 or 7. I did a little bit of research before this video, so it might be a bit shorter. But the good news is that I've actually never gotten this far in LOTRO before. I've been to the North Downs, just got to Trestle Bridge, but I've never been level 33. I always 32 is the highest I've ever gotten, so we're doing well with that. Also, I will make a video at some point of when I get all the kindred reputations to... Sorry, when I get all the faction reputations to kindred and I unlock the Steed of Eliador, I will make a video just of all the 11 times I got to kindred, just to kind of celebrate that. You can see now we're coming into the North Downs. Or into a different area. Anyway, we've been up as far as here before, but going into these forests we haven't just yet. Also, our character looks a bit mad at the minute. We've got these really awkward looking pauldrons and boots and bottoms. The only thing that looks decent is our cape, which is awesome, as well as our kind of chainmail torso. But hopefully we get some better armor in the North Downs. Now there were still a couple of quests to get other items, I think, of armor in the Lonelands, but we decided not to get them because we had max reputation, and at that stage I was just done. I just wanted to move on from the Lonelands. But I am conscious that I do want to do Bree Kindred very soon because we're going to, you know, be going through a few areas, and I don't want it to build up. I don't want it to build up too much and have to be going back across the map to different locations. So in my spare time I'll be getting Bree soon. But here we are in the Lonelands. The enemy have no idea what's awaiting them with Runlina coming into town. But it's it looks quite nice. A bit grayer than Bree. But anyway, let's head into town and see what we can do here. So we need to head to Outbarton as well while we're up here. But the main thing we're doing is looking for Halbarad. And Marla Shelton. Which looks like this could be this woman here. Yep.
Hello there.
Hello, and are you here to help? So many have gone missing or have wandered out to seek help, and fewer still have returned. Every night it seems that the orcs grow more aggressive and threaten us more. Trestlebridge could use a hero. Q Bonnie Tyler. And Guardsman Otley. Oh, we actually had another quest I forgot in Breeland. Breetown to Trestlebridge, which is to talk to Constable Otley.
Greetings.
Bree Town sent you, eh? It's good to know that our messengers arrived safe and sound. And now that you're here, well, it's good to have another sword down for the cause. And there's the bridge. So let's head out and find Halbarad. I'll show off a bit of the North Downs while we're riding through it, because I do want to show off more of LOTRO. I'm actually realizing more and more how actually really nice looking this game is. It is quite, for a game this old, actually I think it looks quite good. And we get different music in different locations as well. So it looks like Halbarad is up here. It's quite nice, the colours are nice, they're quite soft. You know, they're not as lush as Bree. They're quite easy on the eyes and mixed with possibly lavender between the grass, which is quite nice. Oh, it's actually quite far away. Just to give you a look at the North Downs map where we're looking at, we've got, you know, the fields of Fornost, Anandir, Kingsfell, Melunin, Doldinen, Runenlad. So we're heading to Halbarad here in, well, there's a skirmish camp there, but this is Esteldin. So Candaith mentioned that in his message for us, that he wanted to go he wanted us to go to the Esteldin camp. And I'm pretty sure they're the faction in the North Downs who want to get reputation with. You see, it's quite a nice area actually. I like the look of it. And we're very high level for all the enemies that are around here, so we shouldn't have really any problems doing quests here. And hopefully we'll be able to level up a lot quicker. Sorry, do quests, not rather level up. Those quests actually give us reputation with the men of Bree, so we'll do that because we're due some quests. I need some I need some Bree land reputation, so it's not harm doing a couple of quests. That'll be easy to do because of our level as well. Minas Run. I guess maybe this episode will mostly just be me showing off the North Downs, which isn't too bad. I don't want to have a look around. Maybe when we get to Esteldin we might call that a video, but we'll see. This is a farm that still survived. Nathan Hodges' farm. And the next area we go to after this is Rivendell, actually, the Troll Shores. So maybe we'll be swinging through the Etten Moors and into Rivendell. I just started reading The Two Towers today. Actually, I finished the first chapter. It's interesting that the two books in it are separated by characters. So you've got the whole first book is just following Aragorn all the way to Helm's Deep, and the second book is Frodo and Sam. So I think I'll read a chapter in each as I go along, rather than read a whole block of Aragorn's quest and then a whole block of Frodo and Sam. I don't think I'll find Frodo and Sam that interesting, so I don't want to have to read 200 pages of their story. If I intersperse them together, it should be a lot better to read, and it'll be more chronologically in order as well, I think. There's an interesting discussion going on in the world chat about role-playing, because I'm playing on a role-play server, I'm playing on Lothlórien, and people were saying somebody wanted to play a vampire elf, and it was becoming quite a heated discussion about the validity and the lore of vampire elves. But I mean, each to their own. Whatever makes you have fun in this game, go for it. Gatson's farm. There's a couple of quests for us to pick up. We might as well while we're here.
Might I take a moment of your time?
And that'll give us reputation with our new faction, the Rangers of Esteldin. Everyone on our farm needs to pull their own weight, even fancy strangers out of the south. We've got our hands full here dealing with the harvest and worrying about them orcs nearby. Anyways, Master Gatson's little herd of cattle could use some new blood. Wild aurochs will do nicely, but the bulls are far too aggressive to drive into the pasture. So what I want you to do is to pick out a good-looking yearling from the wild aurochs herd not far to the south. A young auroch should be pretty docile, just don't get in the way of any of the bulls and you should be fine. Oh yes, and I've seen some orcs out there lately, so be careful there too, you hear me?
Stay and hear me out.
There'll be orcs around here lately. So far they've just skulked around, stealing things, but I'm sure as soon as they get their courage up, they're going to raid us. I guess that I'm just too stubborn to run, and my hands, like Gilmar here, are too loyal to leave me, so I need you to get rid of these orcs for me. You'll like us not find them sneaking around in my fields to the south. Get those foul creatures off my land. So we'll come back and do this on our way. No doubt the Halvarad is going to send us around all over the place, so that'll be easy enough to do. And Halvarad, of course, is a character from this Lord of the Rings story. I'm pretty sure he's in the Great Company, if I remember correctly. He's a Dunedain himself. We should be getting a whole new list of deeds as well in the North Downs. But we've got the Western Ruins for a start. No doubt we'll have a lot more to get through. Oh, it looks like they've buried themselves quite deep in the mountain valley. Now entering Esteldin. No, it's not often they'd see a Beorning popping in.
Might I take a moment of your time?
We've had reports that wargs are moving into the area around Esteldin. While we are not yet prepared to move against the enemy in the North Downs, we can't have these foul beasts spying on us up here. We need you to hunt these creatures down and slay them. It should not be difficult to find the wargs, for they prowl to the west and south, hunting for those of us who dare to oppose Angmar. If they learn the whereabouts of Esteldin, the orcs will be able to sweep down upon us and our line will be ended. You must hurry before they find us. Easy enough quest.
Stay a moment.
There's actually another quest to talk to Nod Gardener and Outbarton. That's handy enough. The hobbits in Outbarton have a market every year at the North Cotton Farm. By now, word has usually spread to us of the event, and many will change their trip to Evendim to be sure to catch it. We have not yet heard anything from the small folk, and I am beginning to worry something is the matter or may have happened. Outbarton is to the west of here, on the southern border of the Shire. Once you get there, speak with the bounder in charge of the town. Cool looking mannequins. Anything interesting in them? No. For 50 Mitchell coins, I don't think we will. And there's Hodge Tanner.
Will you give me a moment of your time, friend?
I'm not going to do that quest. We're high enough level and it doesn't give us reputation with the Esteldin. That's kind of what I'm only really interested in now at the minute. We've got tasks we can do anyway should we need to. But let's find Halbarad. It's quite an impressive area, this.
Could I speak with you a moment?
The Wardens of Innuminas. This is level 35 actually. Have you heard of the Wardens of Innuminas? Another faction we'll have to get reputation for at some point. They are a branch of our order who guard the ancient tombs and ruins which mark the long ago abandoned capital of Arno. News has come to me that they stand hard pressed as bandits and refugees from the North Downs have begun to loot the old tombs in increasing numbers, and darker rumours of the presence of Angmarim, agents who seek entrance into the ancient city itself. Travel to the camp of Tinudir, and you will find Canuyon will be most grateful for any aid you can render. Well, we'll do our best. But we're not going to go to Inuminas yet, because that's a whole other area. Can't get in there yet until I've done the council. So I'm assuming Halbarad is back here. Ah, finally. No, actually it's not him. Malenfang. A request to the Earthkin.
Could I speak with you a moment?
The Earthkin in... the Lowlands where we were. Your efforts are well known amongst all here in Esteldin, Runlina. I am hopeful that you will assist me with a small task. Long ago when I journeyed abroad, I toured Asako, the chieftain of the Earthkin, in the West-drawn letters. In return, he offered to write me a book describing their leather-working methods. I need this book to fulfill a promise I made to a man in Trestlebridge, as I came north from Rivendell in the guise of a common leather worker. I promised to make for his people armour suitable for use against the orcs. Will you go to Asako and ask for the book? The Earthkin are encamped northeast of here. Just skirt the hills northward from the eastern entrance of Esteldin. Ah no, okay, he's a different guy to us. Halbarad is still further on. Here we are, Halbarad's study. Pretty impressive, actually. Of Arthedain and its settlements. Stamped across the front of this book is the title of Arthedain and its settlements. The book cover is worn as if many hands have held it. It opens easily to a dog-eared page which reads, "In those days, northeastern Arthedain was dominated by 5 great settlements, known commonly as the 5 Towers. These were Heneth-Ruin, south of Fornost, Dwintham, astride an ancient stream, Carnoglin in the northern hills, Ost-Ardulin in the lakelands, and Dolindir, now called Esteldin. Amongst the Rangers of the North Downs, we encourage our people to visit all of the 5 towers and discover the locations of their founding stones. It is important to remember who we are." No harm doing that, because it'd be quite a cool quest. Now, finally, the one we're looking for, Halbarad.
What can I do for you?
Fires in the north. Word has spread about the help you have given the Rangers to the south. Here in the northern lands, we need your help now more than ever.
Might I take a moment of your time?
Chapter 1. Ranger of the Fields. While the eyes of Esteldin have been turned to the east, news from west and south tells me that the enemy is moving on many fronts. I fear that the strength of Esteldin is nearly spent, and alone we cannot face this great threat. A council of the free peoples of the North Downs must be called. Yet before I do so, I need more knowledge of this threat. I need to know if Fornost, once the capital of Arno of old, has fallen under the sway of Angmar once more. If the enemy has taken and fortified the ruins of Fornost, we are in the gravest of dangers. Travel to Mincham, a ranger who camps on the fields of Fornost to the west, and ask for his aid.
Stay a moment.
And you've got a quest to Fornost. Word has come to me from the scouts outside the gates of Fornos that powerful wraiths have been seen within the city. I do not doubt the words of my men, and if these spirits are indeed who I believe them to be, there is a greater evil there than we have not yet perceived. These wraiths must be the spirits of the 4 traitors that aided Angmar in the downfall of the King's Norbury. In their last stand against the enemy, a great treachery occurred and the gates of the city were thrown down. Legend tells that the men were bewitched by the Witch King's champion, a woman named Amathiel. If these wraiths are indeed these men, they must be dealt with. I would ask that you visit Istuinen, who is learned in these matters. She may be able to assist you in finding some way of ending the threat of these new foes. So we've arrived in the North Downs and are getting ourselves established with the Rangers of Esteldin. So I'm going to leave it there for this episode. I know it was quite not too much happened, but we travelled from Bree to the North Downs, got a look at the area, and have encountered a new faction. So if you enjoyed the episode, please consider giving it a like, and if you want to join me on this journey across Middle Earth, consider subscribing to the channel. I will see you all in the next video. Take care and have a good day.